Here we go. Here we
Oh
go.
my God. I'm wasted.
It's so slow. It's slow and weird, and it chugs through it.
I like it. I wouldn't say I'm mad about it.
And fade out and stop.
Okay, go. This is you.
No, this is you, brother. That's your show right there. That's you.
Here's the deal. It's not my show. Just my name's first.
Okay.
You still got to take the intro.
All right.
Because
What's up, y'all?
Did you come up with one?
No.
You had a spiel.
I'm gonna do it right
You
now.
used to have a spiel.
I'm gonna do it right now. Keller, I know we're not going to distract ourselves too much, but we already have comments in our Twitch stream, which is so nice.
This
That's
is
so cool.
crazy.
This is wild.
Dude, this is nuts.
This is the first episode, but also like the 130th episode or something, of the Keller and Hector show. Welcome, everybody. My name is Hector, and sitting to my right and all the way across town is the Liza to my Manelli, Mr. Keller Knobloch. Say hi, Keller.
Wow.
Is the Michael York? Is that the other actor's name? Michael York to my Liza Manelli?
Sounds right. Yeah.
It's Keller. What's up, Keller?
Not much, man. Sitting across town. You're sitting in front of me if we're talking geographic.
You're in your comfortable kitchen with your cool 70s wallpaper. I'm in my garage.
Back in time, baby.
So that's right. So this is it, man. We are finally doing it remotely. We're able to continue doing the show. We're probably not going to have a guest on tonight's show, but going forward, we can if we want. We can just drop them in.
I'm open to it.
We're open to it with our little technology. Keller, what's the point of this show? What's the point of us hanging out once a week?
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the premise?
You don't know?
Point. I lost it, brother.
Yikes!
It's been a rough couple of weeks. What's the point of this? Of all of this?
Fellowship.
Life.
What's the point of anything? Fellowship.
Okay, fellowship. What else?
We had a podcast for a hot minute, and we talked about a movie every week based off of a list from 200 years ago. So it's mostly like rotating, whatever those things are called. I forgot what they're called. What are those called, Hector? Animation?
You're thinking of a carousel. Carousel.
I'm thinking of a carousel. Yeah.
Bro, I just went to pick this up and it flipped open on the first page. A zoetrope. Look at that. It's an ad for The Day the Earth Stood Still, directed by Scott Derrickson. So funny. So what happened then, Keller? We did this podcast. We talked about a movie a week. What happened?
And then I moved. I moved away. Also, pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So we had to switch up the format. But we talked about all this on last week's episode. But this is the first time we talked about it with our faces on the camera.
I promise you, people are watching or listening to this right now that did not listen to the last week's episode. That really.
What are you talking about? Some people did.
Yeah, some people did. But in any case,
this is new.
This
is a new thing.
And we are gonna keep going with this movie list, but also
the magazines in the other room. I did not come prepared.
It's fine. I got it. I can do that. I'll read the intro.
Oh yeah, it's this time.
I won't read it. We'll have
read it.
We'll have a guest read it. Some person. Keller, who should read the intro this week?
Jansen McGillicuddy.
Who is Jansen McGillicuddy?
That's for you to find out.
You have to tell me one thing about Jansen. They're here. They're waiting in the wings. Where's Jansen from?
You can get so much just from the name Jansen McGillicuddy. McGillicuddy, obviously Scottish.
That's right. Jansen. Okay. Scottish. Okay.
Jansen, that means he's probably like 47.
Thanks. Good thing I sound 47, or I can. Okay. Jansen, Mr. McGillicuddy.
Can you pitch your voice to 47, dude?
Yes. Jansen McGillicuddy, if you would be so kind, do us the honors. Tell us what movie we're starting the evening with talking about tonight. Aye, laddie. That I can do. I cannot do that. I mean, I can.
It's weird.
Here we go. Well, you fucking did it, you bloke. Here we go.
I'm a bloke.
Number 367. Cabaret. From the year 1972. Director Bob Fosse. Fosse's Oscar winner is about as far from the MGM tradition as you can get. The wartime Berlin setting and flawed characters make the swaggering desperation of the tunes all the more powerful.
Wow.
Wow, thanks, Jansen. Pretty good.
You did a great job, Jan.
Pretty good.
Janny McGills.
I won't be coming back ever again. Toodaloo.
Good. Get bent, Jansen. I didn't like your name anyway. It's weird.
And he's gone. Keller.
He died. His bones were bleached immediately. Now there's a pile in the corner.
Did your belly just gurgle?
It was the Topo Chico. It came back to get me.
This episode is brought to you by Topo Chico. One of the comments says, "This sounds more like a 48-year-old." That's very funny.
Why are you talking about the comments? This is a podcast. This is an audio format.
That's true. That's true. That comment was from Busting in My Pants, so you know it's good. Keller, what did you think of the summary out of that magazine from Empire Magazine? 500 greatest films, 500 greatest movies of all time.
I think it's probably accurate.
Yeah, I think so too. First time I've ever seen this movie, Cabaret. How about you?
I think it's the first time I ever saw a Bob Fosse movie.
Me too. What else did Bob Fosse direct?
We could all that look it up jazz.
Oh, I was going to say all that. The pilot episode.
Yeah. The reboot. He came back.
The reboot.
Super dead.
When did he die? What year did he die? Here's the thing.
Good question.
Okay, let's open this up because we've talked about this every time we've covered like a musical. Is like, oh, this is a whole world and genre that I know little to nothing about, and I'm always open to learning more about, right? Especially the world of stage plays and Broadway musicals and musical comedies and all that other stuff. So I don't know anything about Bob Fosse or his life, really. What do you know about Bob Fosse? I know that he was a jerk.
He was a jerk.
Yeah.
I know that there's dancing.
Mm-hmm. But like an incredibly successful choreographer and show director. And did he do music and lyrics or just music or just lyrics?
He didn't even do the music. He just did the dancing, I think.
But then directed this.
And then directed this and all that jazz. I'm not going to be able to say any other.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I didn't know. And the only thing I knew about Cabaret was that I knew somehow through pop culture osmosis that Liza Minnelli was in it.
I've only ever seen Liza Minnelli, I think, in
Arrested Development. Mm-hmm. It's true.
That might be it.
That's true. There's one other connection I have to this film.
You love Judy Garland, and Liza Minnelli is Judy Garland's daughter.
100%. No, I knew that, but I wouldn't say I'm a Judy Garland.
You're not a Garland head?
I'm not a Garland head. I'm a Judy Garland fan. I think she's incredible.
How big of a
super
fan?
Talented. Like that, it makes me sad when I remember that she was, I think, allegedly or confirmed, like made to be addicted to cocaine to stay thin in those in that era of Hollywood in those days, right? That's how much of a fan of hers I am. Is that makes me sad? That bums me out. And sometimes I think nothing's changed, man. Nothing's changed, brother.
Of the world.
Holly weird, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely weird that people do cocaine in Hollywood forcefully.
It's weird.
Kooky thing about Hollywood.
Kooky cocaine. What else do you know about Bob Fosse or about Cabaret before going into it?
I didn't know anything about Cabaret before going into it. I didn't know it had Nazis in it.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I mean, we could list all the shit we didn't know, but what was there anything else that you brought to this?
I don't think I knew it was a musical.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd consider it a full-on musical because it says it's based on a musical play. Is there a difference?
Right. Yes, because I think
I
read, according to Wikipedia, I did Google it. I looked at Cabaret and I looked at how it was received, and it was like.
Did you look at whether it was a musical play or a musical?
No, but here's what I know. The movie they said in the Wikipedia article that is like summing up everything about the movie is like all of its musical numbers are diegetic. All of the songs in this film are when performers are performing it on stage, I think, versus like a typical what we would think of as musical where characters in the story sing
songs, yes,
to each other or to themselves or what, right. So I think when I read that, I was like, oh, it must have been different in the original play or original works that then they changed for this film, which I'm going to be honest, I was like not into the songs as much as the rest of the movie. I would almost be like, okay, let's cut back to the.
I think the songs were my favorite part.
Really?
The MC is the best part of the movie.
Well, that is Joel Grey. And that's
he's the best part of the movie.
That's my other connection to this film is that, you know how a few months ago I was like, I'm going to watch all the Muppets, everything.
You have another connection to this movie. I just don't know if you know it.
What is it? Oh, I have a few. And
Michael York was in Superman the Animated Series.
Oh, was he? Wait, let me guess who he played. Don't tell me who he played.
Oh shit! He played my show again next week.
He played. Wow! You out not just animation to me. You out superhero animation to me. Brutal. That's brutal. See, this is the thing about this podcast now is that fucking Keller also has access to a computer.
Like Kanto or something.
Wait, don't tell me. Yes, that's right. Kanto, who was like an agent of Darkseid. And he shows up and he has like, his character's great. He has a beret and he shows up and he's like, yeah, Superman, with that great British kind of nasally voice that he has. God damn, you're right. You got me on that one. But Michael York is also in Austin Powers is. That's how I know him. He plays Basil Exposition. I think Michael York was my favorite part of this movie. But Joel Grey,
he's the best of the three in the triangle.
In the triangular situation.
Situation.
Joel Grey is the father of Jennifer Grey from Dirty Dancing.
What?
That's her dad.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And
that's a dancing family.
I don't know if they're still married, but I think she married Clark Gregg, who plays Agent Phil Coulson in the MCU. So there's But Joel Grey, I told you a few months ago. Well, first of all, we watched all the Muppet movies.
Yes.
For another quarantine series for this podcast. We went through all of them. And then I was like, I also want to watch every episode of the Muppet Show from the 70s. I haven't seen every episode of that. I'll do that. So started, and I'm still in season 1, but I started it. And one of the episodes is hosted by Joel Grey. And he performs the song, the opening number, Willkommen. Willkommen. He performs it in the Muppet Show.
Welcome.
And I so that was the first time I actually saw that a few months ago. Watched Joel Grey, looked him up as a person, and he is somebody who I think he was married a few times, maybe had kids, but then like later in years was like, I'm a gay man, kind of a setup. And he's a fantastic performer. He was
great in it.
He was great with the Muppets. Let me tell you.
Honestly, it's hard to be bad with the Muppets.
Well, yeah, you're right. But happens. I'm like, that's how
someone doesn't get it, or they're too good for the Muppets. We don't have to go through this again.
Exactly. Who's too good for the Muppets? Did we go through this? Did we do that one time?
We talked about it on the Muppets movie things.
Like
some people are too good for it.
Yeah, they are. But man, oh man.
Mel Brooks.
Oh my God. Mel Brooks is hysterical. He steals the Muppet.
Joan Rivers
from the Muppets.
Isn't too good for the Muppets.
Joan Rivers is so funny. Her and Miss Piggy are the all-time greatest. And then R.I.P. Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta, so good.
He was the funniest part of Muppets from Space.
Yes.
Selling it. Anyway, Joel Grey, also fantastic. So when this opened with Willkommen, or whatever the song is called, you keep saying Beyond Thunderdome. Why? What is that?
Yeah.
Willkommen Beyond Thunderdome. Willkommen.
Yeah.
That's the Cabaret sequel I want to see.
Hector, overall thoughts. Do it.
I I think I told you because I texted you a few days and I was like, because see, now we're not watching the movie together. We used to, that's also a change, but we watch them separate. It's weird. Did you look over to Chelsea and just go, I don't know who you are?
Well, I was very confused.
What are you doing here watching this movie? Who are you? I miss my friend. No, you watch the movie with
I never watched a movie with Chelsea until
you're like, this is weird. I don't like it. Turn into a gremlin. Yeah. You watch the movie with your amazing fiancé, Chelsea.
Fiancé.
And I texted you a few days ago and I was like, just saw Cabaret. And
Favorite
I said,
movie all time.
No, as it was starting. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to like this movie is what I texted you as it was starting. But
as it started, I was like, maybe I'll like this movie.
Okay.
But just the first number.
Oh.
Like, just because
it's great.
It's a good time.
Mm-hmm. It's a good time. And it's jazz and it's like 30s jazz. And it's, it's, I guess the show within the show is this sort of like cabaret. It's this risque
Kit Kat, something.
Yeah, which is all like great. It's just not a style of show that I'm necessarily like familiar with, into, or geeky. It's like when we watch Topsy Turvy, right?
You don't like those musicals either. So you don't like musicals. You found the
That's not true.
Denominator.
SpongeBob. No, I'm kidding. I do. I like musicals, but I think I just like them when I can connect to the material, I guess. I don't know.
Like Dear Evan Hansen.
Oof.
The
straight up
man play.
I don't want to be negative, but I really dislike that show.
I'd say I'd hated that show. You can be negative because it's actually harmful.
Yeah. But I connected to your point, I connected to In the Heights when I went to go see it live years ago. I connected to when I saw it on TV more. Welcome in the Heights. Welcome. It's great. Couldn't connect to Cats. I connected to Chicago. I connected to most of Hamilton. It's pretty great. Like, I think that's a great show. I think the positives far outweigh any negatives in the show. Hamilton. Sorry. There are musical theater people that are, I feel like every time they hear Hamilton, they like roll their eyes. They're like, ugh, it's the word. I'm like, no, it's great.
It's only because it's been played 200 times at this point.
Yep. Which I get it.
And it got overblown a little bit, maybe.
If we're counting, and I think we should, especially the Renaissance era of like Disney animated films, which we're bringing in, Howard Ashman and I'm trying to think.
Seems Elton John, dude.
Alan Menken.
Elton
John. Phil Collins. No, but the Broadway guys came over and they were, and I think that I get so into those. I think they're beautiful. I think they're so great. What about you? What's your favorite musical?
Probably Singing in the Rain.
It's great.
Number 7 on the list of the 500 greatest films podcast.
And I enjoyed Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and I had no reason to.
That's a romp, dude. That's a romp.
It's a romp and a half, brother. Man, it's a romp of a good time.
I tucked my shirt in and danced on a table and then raised a barn.
So with that silliness, I appreciated the choreography there, and and it was all fantasy and it was all crazy. So this movie, I think my overall thoughts are
not as silly.
No, didn't like it. Not as silly, Willy. But as it started, I was like, it's very 1972. And that is a good thing or a bad thing, depending on, like, I think I told you in the car, we were driving the other day, where almost every scene is like ADR dialogue. And sometimes that's a warm blanket.
Sure.
Right. Sometimes
a warm blanket, like you're going to go to sleep.
It's comforting. Yeah. I can like put on The Godfather, and every ADR footstep.
ADR scenes make you like that?
Sometimes I do, because it feels like I know I'm watching a classic. I know I'm watching
something old.
But other times it can take me out. It just depends. Sometimes I'm like, oh, they filmed this in the 70s and it's supposed to be set in the 30s, and it's like, sometimes I don't know, stupid stuff like that takes me out.
Germany.
But my overall thoughts are, by the end of the film, especially by the end, especially where it ended, how it ended, and what ended up being some of the subject matter that I thought was very. So I mean, when I posted that we were talking about Cabaret a few days ago or last week, someone was like, "This is a great example of classic queer cinema," and so I had that going into it, and it is, and it's
I didn't
true, and
know that going in.
it's like speaking of Jennifer Grey, it's like when we watched Dirty Dancing and we were like, "This movie's about abortion, awesome."
I did like Dirty Dancing way more than this movie, though.
Yeah, me too. Because it's got Jennifer Grey, it's got the sways. But
The sways.
that was my overall.
Swaying
That
those.
that was, I think,
Yeah.
my overall review was like at the end of this, I was like, I can appreciate Cabaret for what it is. I totally understand why people love it, and I think also why they
Everyone's
voted
great in it.
for it. Everyone's pretty great in it. It just was like, we can get into some specifics, but that was my overall thing.
I gotta watch more Liza Minnelli.
I do too. I want to, and I do too, because I didn't
She won
love her
Best
character.
Actress.
Yeah, I didn't love her
Her
character in this movie,
character's
but she did a great job. But it's kind of
self-centered and stuff.
reminded me of Breakfast at Tiffany's. Interestingly, with this, like, she's
It
almost
reminded me of What's Up, Doc, for some reason.
What's Up, Doc?
With Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Bogdanovich.
Oh, Peter Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
It reminded me of What's Opera, Doc, in an interesting way, because
what is opera?
No, it didn't remind me about that at all. But oh man, I had a train of thought and I completely
ruined it with the What's Opera. Doc.
It reminded me of, what was I about to say? It reminded me of. Oh, I guess she kind of made me feel like she was almost like a manic pixie dream girl in a way when it started, which, you know what I mean? Which I'm like, I always get a little weary of that kind of
it's
trope.
1972, so I don't know.
So it was brand spanking.
And I think that's kind of like Liza Minnelli's deal.
Totally. Like, what were Keller? What were your overall thoughts on the movie? What'd you think?
It was good. I don't believe that I cared for it. It very much felt like a musical play situation in which they're like, okay, folks, we're going to have a good time, but we're going to deal with it too.
Yes.
There's going to be something sad and fucked up in the middle of this good time. Like In the Heights, the lady dies. West Side Story, someone dies. You had a great time, but hey, can't all be a good time. We got to have some emotion.
And this one, what was it like? Here's the other crazy thing, dude. It was made in the 70s, based off of work, I think, from like the 60s or
based
50s.
Off of an actual stage play
from like the 60s, I think. And that obviously was only about 15, 20 years removed from the end of World War II. And Nazis actually taking over Europe and being the threat that they were. And it's like, in the 70s, there were still 30 years out commenting on what had just happened 30 years ago. That would be like a movie today talking about something that happened at the tail end of the 80s or into the 90s, which is insane.
They could be saying something about the other two wars.
What do you mean?
Happened because then Korea happened right after.
Oh,
and then
for sure.
Vietnam was happening.
So you're saying the 70s art could also...
They've been in war constantly since.
Yeah. And it's also wild to see this movie today because you go, God damn it, here's a movie set in 1931 Berlin, and like no lessons were learned because we effectively still have Hitler Youth today. There are people who are still
was so
pro-fascist.
Like they said a sentence when that man is sitting in the parlor or whatever, and he's like, "There's a global organization that's run by the Jews in the banks," and wow, the same thing.
And in that regard, it was like, oh, okay, this movie is like impactful and significant and timely, and it's frustrating and wild that it's still timely, but it's and then and I forget, the other person was like, and you're a part of a global organization that is stupid people or something, like I forget.
Horses asses.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was fun. So
and that's why that character was the best.
That's
one of the reasons, because Liza Minnelli like doesn't in any way interact or engage and that guy gets straight up beat up by some Nazis for tell him to fuck off.
What did you think about Michael York with that straight burn? What did you think about how
cameo?
What's that?
Yeah, there's a cameo.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, Chelsea's coming? All right. Hi, Chelsea.
Look at that logo.
Isn't that great?
I know, right?
Temporary.
It's going to be a great inspiration for me.
Chelsea, you had never seen Cabaret before.
I mean, I think I'd seen some of it. I know.
She knew all the songs.
I knew.
I didn't know a single song.
Dude, Abby did the play when she was younger, so
Really?
she also knew all the songs. Yeah, she was like singing. She was like in the other room singing along, which was crazy.
So I have to bring up the abortion thing because it's just like, I mean, it took place in 1931, and almost 100 years later, we're still in the same fucking place. But
I know.
Also amazing that her high school did that, and
I don't know if it was high school or college or what.
College. Well, but still,
still, no, yeah, I agree. What did you think of the movie?
What the stage show was.
Yeah, me too. Well, we've got a comment here, Keller, that says that the stage play was based off of short stories published in the 30s, which is very interesting. Okay. And then they made a stage play of that, and then this is the movie adaptation of the stage play. Chelsea, what were your overall thoughts of the movie? You sat down and watched the whole thing. You watched it with Keller. What'd you think?
I loved it still. It was beautiful. I loved all the artistic shots and the shadows and the like reflections and my favorite character. And I feel like I must have like known it for just the songs, I guess, of the Cabaret. I don't know the character's name though, the Cabaret guy.
The MC.
Yeah. Just MC.
Say the fun fact again.
That is Joel Grey, and he is number one. Thank you again. Comments. Still alive, 90 years old to this day. Number two is the father of Jennifer Grey, who starred in Dirty Dancing. That's his daughter. Number three performed Velkomin, the opening number, on The Muppet Show in an episode where he hosted The Muppet Show with the Muppets from the 70s. And yeah.
And then the people in the comments, do you know who played him in the Broadway stage show? Because I mean, that's whoever I can never remember his name. He's who sticks in my mind as like the MC.
I don't know.
I think it was also Joel Grey. I think did it in the play and then in the movie.
A revival then?
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Like more recently?
Yeah, like a revival version. Yes, David Bangs.
Okay. Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yes, Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
Definitely the revival.
Okay.
Yeah, Nightcrawler from the X-Men. Yeah. And the crazy thing is he still had the blue makeup on.
Wait, is it Alan? It's Alan Cumming.
Alan Cummings.
Right? Alan Cummings?
Alan Cummings. Yeah, that's it.
Because I think he also performed that on SNL. I think he did Cabaret on SNL when he hosted SNL, like in the 90s, I think, or in the 2000s. Yeah. He's great.
And he's like
he's got the face.
Yeah, exactly.
From Floops Fooglies? Yeah. Definitely the guy you want.
What?
From Spy Kids. He's the bad guy in Spy Kids.
Yes,
Floops Fooglies.
Yes, he is. He's also,
Jesus
I think,
Christ.
he
I need
plays
you guys to like watch some cinema on occasion.
He plays.
Don't just
speaking
fill your
of
heads with the superhero shit. Watch Spy Kids, okay?
he was also in the Son of the Mask with Jamie Kennedy. He was like the bad guy in Son of the Mask.
Cameo as well already.
No, Mozi's been hanging out in there the whole time.
Oh,
yeah, we have a dog now, and you guys can see him on this visual medium of a podcast.
Yeah,
lovely you all, and have fun.
Okay, bye. I love you. Have fun.
Thanks, Hector, Chelsea.
I didn't say bye.
No, it's okay. Bye, Chelsea.
I didn't hear you. I'm wearing headphones.
Oh, I know. Well, you tell her I said bye later. Yeah.
There he is.
Oh,
we have a dog, and he's adorable. His name is Mozzarella.
What did he? What was he doing when you were watching Cabaret? What was he doing?
Dancing. He knows all the songs too. It's crazy.
That's great. Anyway, anything else you wanted to bring up?
He played the MC in college.
What I wanted to ask you, Keller, I wanted to talk about in Cabaret because I was reading how when the film was released in 1972, that the person who like the Michael York character, I think, was mostly based on.
Yeah.
Saw the film and like had a negative, like he didn't appreciate a thing about the movie, which was he felt like the homosexuality of that character was depicted as a negative thing, as a bad thing.
Yeah,
right, but it's also like 1931 Berlin. Like, but the character moves to Berlin to kind of be able to be himself, and
they
he's
never I guess
bisexual.
Because he was my favorite character.
Yeah.
Other than the MC.
Right.
Because number one, he tells us a bunch of fucking Nazis. Also, like, he's got the hardest deal out of everybody.
Yes.
You've got the rich fuck coming in. So yeah. I thought,
but I liked the moment in the film where Liza Minnelli's character was like, I slept with him, or I'm still sleeping with him, or something like that. Like I had slept with him, and then he was like, me too. And I was like, damn, okay, cool. I did not expect that. Because he had said he had earlier, when she sort of came on to him, that scene was really good and sad.
And then even later, they make the line where it's like, those three women just weren't any good.
Right. And I'm like,
like, I don't know. There's no address. Like, I was like, okay, this guy's bisexual, but I don't know what the terminology was then. Or like,
I mean, I think bisexual still applied then in 1972.
I just don't know how.
In the 30s, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was intriguing to me.
Dynamics are. I don't know how many people are like.
Yep.
I don't know what concepts people are aware of ever. I guess.
Yes, exactly. That's but I was like interested in it enough that I'm like, oh, I want the movie to be more about this, and it kind of wasn't fully about that.
It doesn't.
And then Liza Minnelli's character got pregnant.
It's almost like a slice of life situation. Like, right. It feels very like, here's what it was like to be one of the 5 of these people in up and coming Nazi Germany. In like the seedy underbelly or whatever. Like,
so then in the
I don't
beginning,
know how prevalent like cabarets are in Germany. Like, I don't know the history of any of that. I'm sure they're probably like, because we're from America. I was like, everybody's just going here. It's like,
and that's the other thing about a movie like this that covers this place and time. I am unfamiliar with it, with the historical context, and it's like, I don't want a movie to spoon feed me that shit. I don't necessarily need there to be like some kind of a message at the beginning, like this is what is happening, but
especially since it's based on a play and stuff. So I guess
but some kind of
fans.
Yeah, but either I guess so. Maybe it was like, because when the Godfather film came out, like everybody in the world had already read the book. Like it was that popular of a book. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe I just wasn't. It's all these years later, and I don't know how popular the stage.
You're not going to the theater that often. Hector.
I don't know, but I'm thinking still maybe that through dialogue or through scenes or whatever, that more information about the context of like the world could have been revealed. But then again, they did their job, which was at the beginning of the story, not too many Nazis. And at the end of the story, all Nazis.
Too many Nazis.
Too many. One Nazi is too many Nazis. But at the
beginning, there were no Nazis.
Yeah. Which is enough Nazis.
We were Nazi-less.
Yeah. And then at the end, and I really like the part. I was on Wikipedia reading about it, and I read about the moment before I saw it in the film, which was the little kid singing a beautiful song beautifully, and then
then it pans,
and then revealed that he had the Nazi
Hitler
youth
fatherland shit.
And then everybody was like stoked on it, and it's like, that's scary. And
then the guy's like, you still think you'll take care of it?
You still think we can control them?
Yeah. 9.
9. So overall, good film. Not for me. I probably don't need to watch it again.
I don't, unless someone's like, hey, I got tickets to go see the stage show of Cabaret.
Yeah. I'd go.
I'm not paying to go. But then again, I've never paid for a Broadway show because I'm too smart. Been burned too many goddamn times.
An
I'm
intellectual.
not paying for them. I will.
You're an intellectual.
Tag along and maybe take my headphones just in case. But
Keller.
Remember when we saw a punk pirate musical?
Yeah, I do remember that. That was not great. I guess I had a good time, or was it a bad time?
We all didn't like it. We were like, I can't wait to walk to Dee Reese after.
We were like, at least we're here near UCLA, like in Beverly Hills area or whatever.
That's not the way it was
called.
at Dear Evan Hansen, though.
No, how was it?
Intermission, we turned to each other and like, are we all crazy? Because
everyone else in here
stood up and clapped.
Is loving this, and we were taking crazy pills. It was crazy.
I wanted to make when the intermission ended, I was worried that the three of you wouldn't feel the same way that I did.
Yeah. Question for you, Keller.
Yep.
I may have pulled this from the chat because I think it's interesting.
Fuck.
Would you, if it existed, eat a bubblegum flavored hot dog?
This wasn't worth it.
Sorry, Eric. Sorry, our pal Eric. Oh boy.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
A bubblegum flavored hot dog?
Yeah.
Or is it just bubblegum? Like,
I would say
I need to know.
I'll give you the context.
Does it still taste like hot dog, or is it just like the texture of a hot dog and it tastes like I'm eating bubblegum, but it is a hot dog?
That.
Dude,
I'd be curious. I'd eat that.
Dude,
no way.
Throw it on the grill.
Yeah. Little burnt bubblegum.
It'll get a little caramelized, like a cotton candy situation. I'm 100% on board. If anybody wants to make that happen for me, please do.
Here is a legit good question from David Taylor, our pal David Taylor. Are we going to pick a movie to go on the guest list for tonight? I feel like we should.
We can.
We're talking about
what the criteria should be, and how are we going to fight from so far away?
Yeah. I think we're talking about musicals. We're talking about stage play into movies, I guess. So I feel like we probably have to pick a movie in that realm if we're not picking Cabaret to exist.
If you want to pick something that fits this.
Yeah.
Well, what is a movie musical that you and I both thoroughly
love? I don't know, man. I don't know. Did you enjoy West Side Story, Steven Spielberg?
I thought it was fine.
Okay. Did you enjoy In the Heights?
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I think In the Heights is better than West Side Story.
I think so too. But West Side Story, man, Spielberg directed the hell out of that, though. For real,
hey, man,
it's so well directed.
The
shots,
acting, the
shots,
cinematography, the shots.
I'm pulling up the list right now. I don't even know. In case we say something that
it can be an honorary musical too, like something that like someone just said Pick of Destiny. I've never seen Pick of Destiny, so we can't pick that, and I want to. But if there is something in that vein, because that is a straight up musical, like a
sure.
Something came out, I think, even fairly recently. I was like, that might be my favorite musical now, and it might not technically be.
What was it?
I'm trying to remember. I blanked on it.
Yeah. On like that nerd says honorary musical, School of Rock.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna completely this contains a musical. Everything Everywhere All at Once is going on the goddamn list. Because
is that on there yet?
Of course not.
Are you sure?
I think we've had the time to do one episode since it came out.
You know what, brother? Put that shit on there, dude. That's a great pick.
You got the Excel spreadsheet, so you got to do it.
Okay, I'll do it. Here, I'll plug it in. This is a little.
That's it.
Sorry, a little awkward. Yeah.
Oh shit.
What?
Someone just said School of Rock is not on the guest list.
Do you want to pick School of Rock instead?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pick School of Rock. Because somebody's going to pick Everything Everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. I accidentally typed School of Rocky, and now I want to see that movie.
School of Rockian?
School of Rocky. Yo, Adrian, I got some kids who made a band.
Rocky 5, dude.
That's Rocky 5. It is. It's Rocky 5, School of Rocky.
School of Rocky.
I'm going to teach my son how to be my son, but I'll fight this guy in the alleyway. Did you ever see Rocky 5? Pretty good. No. Ooh, the Everything Everywhere All at Once Blu-ray came out.
Yeah, I know. We need to go. I'll meet you at Target right after this.
Okay. I need to go buy that.
We'll each pick up a copy, high five, and then go home to our separate places.
Bye. And then kiss each other on the cheek, European style. Mwah, mwah,
Special features aren't that great. There's just a few featurettes.
You have already looked it up? Okay.
But there's a full commentary.
That's okay.
And there's deleted scenes with commentary as well.
And you know that's the movie that's going to get a special 5-10 year anniversary.
That better get a Criterion
100%, 100%. But for now, it's still good to just go out and buy it.
Oh, it's A24. A24 does special editions.
Yeah, they do.
I have the Last Black Man in San Francisco one.
Yes, you do. That's
and they
really
sold
cool.
the hot dog fingers and stuff.
Oh, they do? Wait, I have to try to track that down. That's
you
cool.
You can buy the hot dog fingers from A24.
What?
They might be sold out at this point.
What?
Yeah.
What? Oh man. Another great comment here is also from Eric, said that South Park the movie is a damn good musical. That's true. That's another. That one is worth watching, but it's I don't know if it will hold up.
No, because I can't listen to Cartman sing. Jesus Christ.
You do. And also I think they have like Saddam Hussein as a character and he sings and like it's ridiculous. But it was like a really well put together musically. Like
they know what they're doing. They did Book of Mormon.
They know what they're doing. Exactly.
Not that I enjoyed Book of Mormon. It doesn't hold up and it's insane that it's still on Broadway, but it does have very funny stuff in it.
Yeah. And it's like musically it's really good and yeah. For sure.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, but man, I gotta go get that Everything Everywhere All at Once Blu-ray because it just lets the Blu-ray people know that more of these and more movies like this.
I can't wait for you to convert that into 3D.
Oh my god.
I got my Thor tickets in 3D.
Do you really? Are you guys gonna go Thursday?
Yeah, in 3D, baby.
Awesome.
You know what? You're gonna be very depressed.
What?
All the IMAX screenings are full. But the 3D screenings are dead.
Empty. That's another reason 3D movies are good.
Look at them prime seats.
It's because you get the real D
halfway
3D.
Up. Yep. Halfway up.
Yep. Center. They're gonna be good. Good see. Oh, dude, I want to go see it in 3D. I think I'm not gonna be able to go until next week.
Well, the theater next to me,
plays
everything in 3D that comes out in 3D.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't think I can go Thursday because we have to fly out. But
have you done that?
Dang.
I know, but it'll be there next week too.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing bigger is coming out before then.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They have this new that's like a 270-degree screen.
Oh, I saw that. I'm not into that. I think it's
I want to see
weird.
Because there's this thing in Fort Worth called the Omni Theater, and it's like a full-on dome.
Okay, interesting.
And I saw Force Awakens there, and that was fucking nuts. Not great. But it was.
How does it work?
Nuts.
Do they just project like the color that would be
the
like
whole thing, and then there is color like filling in the back and stuff?
Yeah, like is that? I'm curious about it, but I feel like
do
it's not
IMAX parameters, but it's more immersive because it's the dome at the same time. So like that Millennium Falcon, the first Millennium Falcon shot and stuff, was awesome.
Yeah, and that whole when like Rey and Finn get into the Falcon and they fly away and they're getting chased by the TIE fighters.
Yeah.
That stuff is cool. I think you and I saw Force Awakens together at the Cinerama theater in LA.
No, we saw it at Chinese theater.
Chinese theater with that like laser digital.
Yeah. I remember because I was standing behind Paul F. Tompkins in the concession stand line.
Sweet. Love LA theaters, man. Right. They're the best.
First time I ever came to LA, I saw the Lego movie at the Cinerama Dome and was sitting behind Andy Richter.
Just watching the Lego movie.
With his daughter.
Okay, good. No, I wanted it to be by himself.
I would see that movie by myself over and over.
It's good. It's good. It's good. So have you done a 4DX movie theater?
But if you do, I will.
I know, but I'm like, I don't know.
I want to go see like something shitty. Like I wish I'd gone to see like Moonfall in that.
Right.
Or something like something that is like
because
more
I don't
ride than movie.
It's almost like if there's a movie that I think would be something I'd enjoy, even if it's like cheesy. For example, Fast and Furious. Let's say it's like F9.
Top Gun Maverick would have been awesome.
Yeah, but if I had seen Top Gun Maverick for the first time in that way, I think I would have been pissed.
Oh,
I think I would have been like, "Stop rocking me around." I'm just trying to watch.
You're in a jet, brother.
I know, but then I'm like, actually, would that have made the movie awesome? I don't know.
It was already pretty awesome.
It was so over the top.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome.
Over the top. Way better than the original Top Gun. I said it.
Jesus Christ, significantly better.
I
never want to watch that movie again, especially now that this one exists.
But Top Gun Maverick, you'd watch again?
Yeah.
You gonna get that Blu-ray?
I might.
Wow.
I love loud planes.
Yeah, they sound pretty cool.
And yeah, that's going to be good on a sound system.
So how should I try to do? I'm curious about the thing you described. What was it called? Like a wraparound screen or like
Yeah. I don't
what
remember
is
what
it?
it's.
You said like
Screen X or something stupid.
yeah, cool. And 4DX
4DX
theaters that I
Stop
know are
throwing
like
X's on stuff, guys.
I know, dude. It's just bad
See it
marketing.
in
It's like
XD. That was a thing for a while.
Screen X.
Extreme dimension.
see it in XD.
Or is that 10 dimensions? Are we going? Yeah. Do we switch to Roman numerals?
10 dimensions. See it. I mean, every movie is
well. Here's
not
the
just
thing.
2-dimensional. Sometimes 3-dimensional.
Sometimes
but every
they'll
movie
call it a 4D movie.
Yeah,
but it won't be in 3D, so it just moves.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're still in 3 dimensions, motherfucker. You didn't add a dimension.
Yeah, exactly. Or like when they had like that Bugs Life show at Disneyland, but they don't have it anymore,
and
where it would be 3D and they would shoot water at you, spray water and smells. And I'm like, okay, that's an extra D.
That is an extra D.
Yeah.
But I don't want that D. I'm not trying to get wet while I'm watching a movie.
Hey, depends on the movie, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
Top
Take
Maverick.
my breath away. Dun dun.
Dude, you want to Nerf football on the beach?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ever going to do one of those 4DX but I guess are you trying to sell me on it, or are you just saying? Okay,
I'm saying I will try it for fun.
Yeah, but it has to be like
stupid. It has to be something stupid,
or
like something that we've seen before.
Like I'm just getting through watching all the Underworld movies for some reason.
And
I
decided wish they were in 4DX.
Yeah. If somebody said, Hector, they're playing the last Underworld movie, Underworld Blood Wars.
I want to feel like a lichen.
In 4DX at some theater or something, I'd be like, let's fucking go.
Are any of them good? Do you like any of them?
No. You want my ranking? I'll give it to you right now.
Sure. You got it memorized?
Yes. The worst one is Underworld Evolution, which is the second one.
Okay.
The one above that is the original Underworld. I don't like those first two. I think they're bad, but at least the first one, when it came out, at least
it was new and cool, kind of.
Yes. And there is nothing cooler than Kate Beckinsale, who looks incredible in the leather, and her character jumps from a building and does that one shot that they kept using in the trailers where like she lands and then just walks cash. That shit's cool because I think she was on wires, so it's that trick of like,
yeah,
and it looks really cool when she lands and walks, and it's all like the Matrix. And then the rest of the movie's awful, and then the second movie's awful, and then the third movie
is
awful. I liked more than the first two because it's just
Rise of the Lycans.
It's just Bill Nighy, like he's like the main villain, instead of just like a smaller role in the first one, and it's what's the actor's name? Sheen, who is Kate Beckinsale's ex-husband. Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen.
Yeah.
Michael Sheen met Kate Beckinsale in the first Underworld, and he played like the Lycan leader, but he was killed. So then in the third movie, it's a prequel. So Michael Sheen is the lead guy, and he's supposed to be like the lead hunky guy, and he is very charismatic. But it's so funny how he's like the main dude in this whole movie. And I thought it was better than the first two. I think it's a different director. It might be the same director. I think it's a different director.
Weisman, didn't he do all of them?
No, he did. He produced them all, but I think he he directed the first two. He didn't direct the third one, I don't think. And then the fourth one, I don't think he directed either. It was somebody else, but he produced it. But the fourth one, let me tell you, that's the first one they released in 3D. And I rented it off of Vudu. Bad, but still my favorite one so far.
Because it was in 3D?
Yeah, and that one was called Underworld
3D.
God, what was it called? Oh my God. Underworld. Not Evolution. Not the Rise of the Lycans. Oh my God. I just watched it and I completely forgot the name of the movie. Underworld X? Nope. Oh my God. Yeah, and Michael Sheen.
World.
Michael Sheen and Kate Beckinsale have a child together, and that child is an actor, and she was in the Pedro Pascal Nicolas Cage movie. She plays Nicolas Cage's daughter in the film, and she was good. But her face looks exactly like Kate Beckinsale merged with Michael Sheen. She is both of those humans
made in a
one.
lab.
Underworld Awakening. Thank you. Awakening.
Finally,
I should have remembered that.
Came awake.
And Underworld, like she has these dumb little like daggers that she throws in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So when they did the 3D one and she does it, it's like, I was like, that's tight.
Finally.
Not as good as Cabaret, any of those movies, honestly.
No. I believe that. And I don't have to. I think I've seen parts of the Underworld.
Yeah. You don't have to watch
boring.
any of them. Dude, they are. Woof, what a great premise.
Boring.
They're so boring, Keller. And there was an animated thing they did. It was like 20 minutes long. I watched that and I thought it was going to be my favorite thing because I'm like, oh, this one's animated. It was just as boring.
So boring.
I know.
Just a bunch of people talking about being vampires and how
I know. I'm like
werewolves.
I'm like, do something.
Yeah. At least in Twilight they played baseball or whatever.
Yeah. But at least in the in Underworld Awakening, which is the fourth one, and it's the one I just watched. Everyone's they do, they do. I'm gonna spoil it for you. They do a 12-year time skip. They just go 12 years into the future, and because they put Kate Beckinsale's character in like cryogenic stasis, and so she awakens from it, and it's 12 years later, and the whole world knows about vampires and werewolves being real. And I'm like, cool? Yeah, I'm like, thank you. Just go, because when they're all secretive,
no one can see us.
Yeah, when it's all secretive, I'm like, they don't. When you set that up, you don't know what to do with it.
Remember that movie, Daywalkers?
No, like Blade.
No, Ethan Hawke. I think that's what it's called. That could be the wrong thing, but it is the world is vampires.
Oh, cool. That's cool. I get frustrated when.
What's your favorite vampire movie?
Probably Blade, if I'm being honest. I think it's probably Blade because it rules.
The entire time. Why does Liza Minnelli have an Eddie Munster haircut?
Very, very cute Eddie Munster haircut.
We're talking Dracula's.
Somebody in the chat said, Hector, you got to do a Resident Evil binge next. No way. I don't think I can do it.
I think you just need to start watching movies you enjoy and like.
I agree.
Don't be like, I'm going to watch this franchise that I already know that I dislike with my whole heart. I'm going to watch all of them.
But I was borrowing all the movies from Adam because he had
to.
I know, but he had a cool box set. He had a cool box set, and that's what made me want to borrow it. I went, ooh, it comes in a box. Let me borrow that.
Yeah, man. I don't think he paid for it.
I know he didn't. And then as I reported back to him, I was like, man, these movies are bad. And Adam's like, really? I like the first one at least. I don't think he's seen any of the other ones. But anyway,
that's like me now being like, I think the first Transformers is good.
I know.
It's probably definitely not.
It's speaking of, that's another one I got frustrated with because Transformers.
You gotta watch all the Transformers.
Yeah, movies. It has such a cool premise of like robots in disguise.
And honestly, that first one, looks.
Yeah,
it still blew my fucking mind.
I just saw somebody. I saw somebody post on Twitter like this moment where Optimus Prime drives around a corner and like the first time he like goes up and it looks awesome. It looks great.
Yes. It's so cool. Like I want to watch it now, especially since it's on like Peacock or Paramount Plus.
Is Bumblebee on there?
I don't know. You own that.
I do. Bumblebee's the best one.
The best one.
I just want to watch Bumblebee again.
Sure.
No, you don't like Bumblebee?
Yeah, I like Bumblebee. It's my favorite one too.
Yeah, it's my favorite, but it's weird because it's like,
but there's not enough fucking Transformers in it.
I know it's a bummer because it came out after
more Transformers.
After all of them, and Bumblebee, by its very nature, like it couldn't really be that epic because it had to be all.
It's small scale.
It has to be small scale, which is
Bumblebee was in a wheat field.
Yeah. What if Bumblebee was in a house? He can't get out of this house, and that's cool. But that but I get so frustrated when the premise is robots in disguise, and then I think in like the third Transformers movie, the second or third, they didn't know what to do, and the writers were just like
dinosaurs.
Like, no, before that, they just have Megatron, like the bad guy, Megatron, with his big, weird, pointy triangle face, shows up on a news feed, and he's just like, humans of Earth, we are the Decepticons. And I'm like, why are you just ruined it?
Yeah.
What do you,
well,
and then.
I don't know, like, are Decepticons really trying to be in disguise?
I guess, I mean, their names are Decepticons. They're deceiving us.
You'd think.
Yeah.
But Autobot?
Yeah.
That's automatically a robot?
Yeah. Automatically a robot, dude. That robot, automatic.
Automatically a robot.
That is automatically a robot.
Dude,
What's his name? What's his name?
First screw,
Optimus Prime.
automatically a robot.
That's the best one. That's like, the best name.
Easily. He's the Optimus Prime.
He's the optimal.
He's got to be the best.
Original.
Prime.
He's Prime.
And Bumblebee.
And then Bumblebee. What about you? What's your name? Ratchet. Okay, these get less cool.
Jazz.
As you go. I know they get less cool as you go.
They do. Optimus Prime really like
that name.
And Megatron.
Yeah, they're great.
But also, I used to always be like Megatron, Decepticon. Megatron's the bad guys, or Decepticon's the bad guys.
Yep, Megatron, Decepticon, and then Optimus Prime, Autobot, automatically the good guy.
Automatically a robot named Optimus Prime.
Yeah. They were, man, some of those names were so bad. I'm not optimistic about the future of the Transformers franchise, but
I'm not
Keller,
optimistic prime about it.
Oh, I'm not optimistic prime about it. Keller, we've got 5 minutes left. We haven't even talked about School of Rock. We can do whatever we want. Should we say something about School of Rock?
One of the best movies ever made. Easy. It is like, I think I saw something recently that said I think it might have been Mike Green or Richard Linklater. It's like, I wanted to make a movie that was for kids that felt like the movies for kids from back in the day.
Sure.
Which like just kids saying normal ass shit and being funny as hell and cursing sometimes because kids curse.
But being like inspirational.
Perfect, so inspirational, so ahead of its time in some ways. Like Jack Black,
use of Led Zeppelin. Before Taika's Thor. Paved the way. And I think Jack Black even said, he was like, nobody had used it before our movie, and we asked. Yeah, he begged them to use Immigrant Song, and they let him. And now it's like, I guess Led Zeppelin's like, you want it? You want to use it? You can use it. You can use it. No, probably not. But it was still really well used in Thor Ragnarok. But, Jack Black didn't have all those special effects to lean on. It was just him.
And he was great. School of Rock.
Favorite Jack Black movie?
It is definitely my favorite Jack Black movie.
It's number 2 for me after KFP, brother.
It's better than Kung Fu Panda because
it might be.
Deal.
It might be.
It's for sure better than Kung Fu Panda.
It might be. I
need you to go ahead and say that
it might
School of Rock is better than Kung Fu Panda.
School of Rock, Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, he said them both.
It might be. Yeah.
No, it for sure is. I can even go down the list of ways, but I'm not gonna.
What list? What list?
Of ways School of Rock is better?
Oh, go for it. Go ahead.
Number 1, Kung Fu Panda. Jack Black is playing a Chinese panda. We already have problems.
That's true. And in School of Rock, he's just playing a guy named Dewey who's pretending to be Ned Schneebly, and that's fine.
Pronounced Schneebly.
Schneebly. This is Ned Schneebly. When he goes, hello, this is Ned Schneebly.
So funny.
That's a good movie. That's a great movie. Man, the chat said Keller went for that checkmate right away. That's great. But Mike White and Richard Linklater, who directed.
It's my favorite of his movies.
Didn't Richard Linklater direct
Refused? He did
Texas Boy growing up. Boyhood. Yeah. Texas Boy.
He did Texas Boy growing up.
The sequel Boyhood.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did a bunch of stoned college kids and one guy who's a pedophile, played by Matthew McConaughey. He did
that classic line. You know what the great thing about high school is all the girls stay the same age. I'm a pedophile. That's what his character said, right? Yeah. Really great. Yeah. All right. I'm a pedophile. Yeah, that's great. I have never seen Dazed and Confused. I have yet to see it.
It's a good movie.
Listen, I got one more Underworld movie to get through, and then I'm going to watch Dazed and Confused.
Then you're going to go through every Linklater film?
Yes, maybe. I'm going through every Sam Raimi movie right now. I'm going through.
Watch the Before trilogy.
I haven't seen that yet. Is that also Linklater?
Yeah.
Wow, man. He's got a great
He's all over the
filmography.
place. Like,
He's got a great filmography.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. Well, in any case, the important thing is, Keller, this is our first episode, the Keller and Hector show. Next week, it is still the Keller and Hector show.
Why?
Because you scooped me on that Superman animated series moment. Now, you can let the people know, I'm borrowing the movie right now from Adam, but you can let the people know what next week's movie is going to be while I look it up.
Predator
from 1987. Good news, it's streaming on Hulu.
I'd be fine if they redid the effects in Predator.
Oh, really? I don't remember the effects not holding up.
Like the invisible stuff.
Yeah.
Bad. If they wanted to redo all that, I'd be 100% fine. Like, I don't usually like.
Sure.
But that straight up takes me out of it.
Yeah.
It looks like the fucking lizard in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. That's so bad. But all the effects of like the Predator's view of seeing people,
it's actually very cool. Effective.
Yeah. It's very scary. 80s, that heads up display, whatever it is that they use. But okay, next week we're talking about 1987's Predator. It's streaming on Hulu. We may have a guest. We may have somebody lined up, and that's going to be next Monday night at 8 p.m. live, but streaming on the exact same place where you're watching this right now. But you'll also be able to catch it as a podcast after the fact. So that's going to be next Monday night, July 11th, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Keller, you're the best, man.
You're the best. I'm glad
movie's almost over.
But we're still on screen.
Okay, so we're gonna end the broadcast.
Came from horror screen.
Good rhyme. Keller, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. We'll see you guys next week. Don't go anywhere because we can. Keller, you and I can stay here, but I'm gonna end this broadcast. We've never done this before. Okay. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.